Hello, welcome to Masala Lab by XOtoXO Games. This is the how to play video for Desert, the third and brainiest game of the three that you can play in Masala Lab. This can be played only with the standard box. Masala Lab is based on the book Masala Lab by Krish Ashok. That's me. The book has a lot of food science, but the games primarily focus on preparation and cooking of food, and more specifically, prepping building blocks of food that can be stored and cooked into a variety of dishes. This is the third game you can play with the components in the box, and it is a standalone game inspired by the classic video game Tetris or Bricks. You don't need to have played Game 1 Tiffin or Game 2 Sadhya to play this. For this game, you only need Deck 3 dish. You also need all 4 player boards, irrespective of number of players. You'll use the back side of the boards, which has a wooden pattern. You will also need 4 counters per player. Each player can choose a color to play with. Remember, this is a prototype. Expect some changes in the box you receive, but the gameplay will still be the same. This is a game for 2 or 4 players, not 3. It will take you about 30 to 40 minutes to play. It needs an even number of players, so if you're 3, 2 of you can team up to play one side. Same rules for all number of players. Just deal the cards accordingly. Set the 4 boards touching each other like this. Place each player's counters on the 4 start positions on each board. Each board is an individual player's scoring track. In case of a 2-player game, use any 2 score tracks out of the 4 as convenient. Take Deck 3 dish. Discard the blanks, shuffle the cards, and deal 3 cards to each player. Place 4 cards at the center of the boards where the 4 boards meet, with the beige side facing up. This is the starting position. Place the rest of the deck face down, banana leaf side facing up, in a convenient location accessible to all. This is your draw pile. As in the other 2 games, is to score the highest points by the end of the game. This game probably has the simplest set of rules of the 3 games, but needs quite a bit of thinking to win. You're trying to form Tetris shapes with your cards, and you score points every time you complete 1 or more Tetris shapes on your turn. You're playing with the beige side of the cards. It helps if you play with them held upside down, because you only need to focus on the 2 Tetris shapes on the card. The rest of the pantry and prep icons can be ignored for this game. You need to complete a Tetris shape with 4 cards. There are 5 possible Tetris shapes you can make: L, I, T, Z, or square. You need to make a Tetris shape with cards that have that shape on it to score points. For example, make an L shape with 4 cards that have an L on them. This is a T. This is a Z. This is an L. This is an I. This is a square. There may be different ways of making each shape. For example, this can be a T, but this is also a T. Similarly, both of these are L. Both of these are Z. Both of these are I. There is only one way of making a square. Now to scoring points. For any T, L, I, Z you make, you score 1 point per shape. For every square, you score 2 points. If you score points, move your counter along your score track. You can make more than 1 shape on your turn. For example, you can make both a T and an L here. In this case, you score 2 points. You can make 4 T's by placing this card over here. In this case, you score 4 points. Note that you only score for all the shapes you make with the card you just placed on your turn. After your turn, the card becomes part of the board, which other players can also use to build their own shapes. Let us also see how to score a bonus. You'll notice there are 4 different colors of the shapes: black, white, yellow, and orange. If you make a shape with all 4 colors in it, you get 1 bonus point. Move your counter on the bonus track. Now that you know how to play, let us quickly see what you can do on your turn. Find any one player to go first. Turn actions are simple. You can place one card from your hand onto the board. After you have placed your card, pick one up from the draw pile and add it to your hand. Your turn ends. The card you place needs to be touching a card that is already on the board. It cannot be away by itself. The game enters the end game. We enter the end game when the board is full. All the slots have been covered with cards. Now you'll see that you have one card left in each player's hand in a 4-player game and 2 cards in a 2-player game. Now everyone gets one final turn. The turn order is now decided in increasing order of score. So the one who has the lowest score now goes first. This player gets to place one card anywhere on the board on top of the existing cards. They now score for all the shapes and bonuses they manage with the placement of that card. The next lowest score goes next, and so on. Note that you can only keep a minimum of one card over the existing cards. That is, the cards cannot be stacked more than 2 high. So every player has to find a different spot to place their cards in the final turn. Move your score trackers with the scores of the last round. Add your bonuses to the score. The highest score wins. In case of a tie, check who has a higher bonus. If there is still a tie, the victory is shared. On the off chance that you score more than 99, congratulations, you have broken the game. Etch your name onto the board as a sort of Hall of Fame. There are no variations to this game. Check out games 1 and 2 that can also be played with the Masala Lab box.